a little bit of challenge. Okay, so Mesa Color is having a little bit of challenge connecting. So we are going to start with, like I'd said, we are going to do subject of formula. Now, by the way, in case someone doesn't understand what subject of formula means, what does it mean? Or what is it that someone may refer to when someone says subject of the formula? So I had given up a little bit of some write-up over there, where I said that the subject of a formula is just, it can be defined as a variable. This subject of the formula is just a variable. And you understand what a variable is. A variable may be a letter, a variable, most of the times it's a letter, yeah, I might say. Most of the times a variable is a letter. So that variable which is being worked out, what does it mean? You may have an equation like this equation that we have over here, where we said m is equal to 4n over n minus 5. So in this equation, if they ask us to find the value of n, meaning that is a variable that we are working out. Meaning that is a variable that we are working out. So now, how do you say, or how do you get to know that indeed this letter has been made the subject of the formula? So we are saying that this can be recognized, or you can get to know that I've made it subject of formula by having the letter on the left-hand side, or maybe on the right-hand side, to be separated by an equal sign. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. How you get to tell that indeed my letter has been made subject of the formula is by looking at how the letter is being positioned. I'll come and explain on this later. So Mesa Kala, I can see now that you have fully joined. I hope you are able to hear us. If you have a question to ask, I can see that your mic is mute. You can just either put up your hand or maybe unmute and then you speak. So when you're making a letter subject of the formula in an expression, what do you do? There are steps that we follow. So this part here says the following are the steps that we follow when we are making a letter or a variable subject of the formula. What are you supposed to do? Number one, these steps that I have given you are universal steps, meaning some steps may be followed, others may not be followed. It depends on how the question is being asked. The steps that I've given you are universal. Some may be followed, others may not be followed, depending on how the question has been asked. So what are the steps? Let's get going. Step number one here says, let me just maybe highlight it with a different, okay. Step number one here says, if an expression is in fraction form. So there are times the expression may be given in such a way that either on the left or on the right-hand side, or both the left and right have a fraction form. Now, how do you know that it's a fraction form? We know very well that a fraction has got the denominator, which is a number at the bottom, as well as the numerator, the expression at the top. So if you look at this question that we have here, this part here is a fraction because our 4n is on top and then n minus 5 is at the bottom. So there it confirms that the expression that we have is having a fraction form somewhere. Now, if it is in a fraction form, what are you supposed to do? The instruction here tells us that we need to cross multiply. Now, cross multiplying, what does it mean? So now here I have given a write-up of how to cross multiply. I'm saying not how to cross multiply. You're going to have the denominator that is on the left to be multiplied with the numerator on the right. It's very important. You get to have a denominator on the left. You multiply it with a numerator on the right. So here, if you want here, this m, you can say m of 1, where the 1 gets to be the, we can get to have it m over 1 so that you can cross multiply in the right way. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, let me see if I can do that so that you understand it in the best way. Okay, let me see if I can do that. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can do that so that you just understand what I mean. So we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do, okay. So here, let's say we got m over 1. So what is our denominator on the left and what is the numerator on the right? So on the left-hand side here, the denominator is a 1 and the numerator is an m, whereby on the right, the numerator is 4n and the denominator is n minus 5. So if we say we are going to cross multiply, it means we are going to multiply. Okay, let me show you. It means we are going to multiply this numerator on the left to be multiplied with the denominator on the right. This is what it means to cross multiply. I'm just taking you through. I know these things, you know them, but just important to emphasize. And then the numerator on the right is this one, which should be multiplied with the denominator on the left. That is what it means to cross multiply. So once you do that, let's see how the answer will be. So if you multiply this m here and the n there, we are going to have mn. Again, the same m there to be multiplied with a 5, we are going to have 5m. We are done with the numerator on the left and the denominator on the right. The next thing will be, let me just remove this thing here. The next thing will be now, you multiply the denominator on the left as well as the numerator on the right. So when we multiply these two, our resulting answer will be 4n. Now, what are we going to do to separate what we multiplied at first and what we have multiplied at the last here? We are saying that these expressions should be separated by an equal to sign, by an equal sign. So that's the reason as to why we have this equal sign over here. Okay, anyone with questions on how to cross multiply so far? Yes, Mercy.
Sir, sorry, but can you kindly repeat on how to cross multiply?
Okay. So what it means to cross multiply, okay, maybe allow me to cover up this part so that maybe we get to have something fresh. Okay, So what it means to cross multiply. Let's say you've got 4 here. 4 divided by 7. No, let me not say put 7. 4 divided by y. And then we've got equal to 2 divided by x. When I say we cross multiply, what do we mean? We are going to, you know the meaning of a cross. We are going to multiply these, the one on top from the left, as well as the one at the bottom from the right. And then we also multiply this thing at the bottom on the left-hand side with whatever is on the right top. That is what it means to cross multiply. So if you are cross multiplying, you're going to say 4 times x, you're going to have 4 times x will give you 4x. We are told that we have to separate them with an equal sign. And then you multiply 2 and the y, you get to have 2y. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your friend Sakala is still having some challenge with connectivity. So that is what it means. So let's get back now to our business. So these are the steps that we follow. And then we are saying if you multiply this expression that we have here, the resulting solution will be mn minus 5m is equal to 4n. That's just the first step, cross multiplying. Step number 2, what do we need to do? We need to collect the like terms. Now you know the meaning of a like term. A goat and a pregnant pig, they are not like terms. Those different animals. If you say like terms, you need to say pig, pig, as well as maybe goat, goat, not pig, chicken. No. Now in mathematics, when we say like terms, we consider the letters. Yeah. Now, again, here you may look at the M here. There's an M here. We also have an M here. We cannot say these are like terms because the instruction here said you need to consider the letter of interest. So what is the letter of interest? It is that letter we are making a subject of formula. So in this case here, our letter of interest is n. So when you are collecting the like terms, we have to make sure that those expressions that contain n should be put on one side. That is the reason as to why I did this. I got this 4n, because it has got n. I had made sure that I push it this side where there is n. And this 4 is positive. The moment it gets to the other side of the equal sign, it became negative. That's why I have a negative here. Thereby, this 5m here, it does not contain the letter of interest, doesn't contain n. So what do? We take it the other side. It is negative. That's why it has become positive right over here. I hope we understand it. Then, from there, what we need to do is to follow the third step. Second step is just about collecting the like terms. The third step is now, once we've collected the like terms, let us check around the letter of interest. Is it coming once or is it coming twice? So if you look at this expression that we have here, the letter of interest is n. And can someone tell me how many n's do we have here? How many n's do we have in our expression?
Sir.
Yes, miss.
We have 2.
Yes. So the step here tells us that if the letter of interest comes twice. So we can see here that it has come twice. If that happens, then what do we need to do? We need to factorize. Why are we factorizing? What does it mean to factorize? Is to take that which is common outside the bracket. So if you now look at what we have here, these steps that I'm showing you here are the steps that we're going to use when you're solving questions. Now look at what we have here. We have got the n here. We also have n here. So once we take it outside the bracket, we're going to have n. Maybe let me use black. Once you take the n outside, you're going to have n. You remove the n here, what remains is the m with a minus. You remove an n here, what remains is a 4. And then you close. On the right-hand side, we have got 5n. So this is what it means to factorize. That is the reason as to why we have this expression written over there. Once we have factorized, then our problem has ended. What do we need to do is to divide now anything that the letter of interest is attached to. That is point number 4. We are going to divide anything the letter of interest is attached to on both sides. So if you check here, I'm going to divide m minus 4, even here m minus 4. And once that happens, you find that m minus 4 and m minus 4 will cancel. What remains on the left is an n. So this is what I did here. This thing cancels. What remains on the left is only n. And then on top, we have got 5m, which is down there, over 4m. It means we have now made n the subject of the formula. Evalina?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
Do you have a question?
No, I don't, sir.
Yes, Mercy.
Sir?
Are you getting what we have just done? Are you okay with what we've done so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe let's look at the examples. Let's look at examples. Let's look at examples. The examples are here. In the interest of time, I only made 3, but if time allows, I'm going to put up some more. So the question says, in each of the following expressions, make the underlined letter subject of the formula. Maybe let me change the question. Each of the following expressions, make the underlined letters subject of the formulae, because we have more than one letter which is underlined. So let's see. So in here we have got P equal to 8 plus, there's a fraction there, which is 6 over Q. Okay, so there, what are we going to do? We're going to we are going to do the same. Now, remember what we're supposed to do here is to make sure that we analyze the question. The question says P is, and this P has to be a small letter. P is equal to 8 plus 6 over Q. So we need to make that, we need to solve that question. How do we solve? We need to make sure that this number here goes this side because it's not a fraction. The only fraction that we have is this one here. The only fraction that we have is this one here. So this fraction remains alone, and that which is not a fraction goes the other side. So once that happens, you find that what we are going to get is this. What we are going to get is this. We are going to make sure that we take an 8 on the other side. It's going to become minus, and then the equal sign here is switched. I don't know if you understand what I've done. I just got this guy and took him the other side. It became p minus 8. Now from here, we can see that now we've got a fraction. So we can even say over 1 here, so that we can do a cross multiplication. Our cross multiplication will be what we have on top here to be multiplied with what is at the bottom. So here we go. What we are going to do is we are going to multiply a P and a Q. This P and a Q, let me just maybe get the pencil. We're going to multiply these things here as well as a Q. So we're going to say that P, or that Q here, must be multiplied with the P minus 8. And then that must be equated to 6. So once we multiply the P times Q, you're going to have PQ minus Q times 8, you're going to have 8Q, and then that is equated to 6. From there, what do? We can go back to question number 2, collecting the like terms, taking in consideration the rate of interest. So if we collect the like terms, we need to make sure that they are already like terms. Yeah, they are already like terms because the rate of interest here is Q, and we can see that Q and Q are on the same side. So once we factorize there, we're going to take out the Q, which is common. And then once we remove Q, what remains there is P minus 8. And then that is equated to 6. Do you know what I've done there? Okay. And then from there, what is the fourth step? The fourth step says divide anything the rate of interest is attached to. So we are going to divide here by P minus 8. Also here, P minus 8. And once that happens, these things will cancel, and our answer will be Q is equal to 6 over P minus 8. We have made Q the subject of the formula. We go to question number 2. Question number 2 is this one, which is more or less like the one that we're from solving. It's the same thing. We need to cross multiply. But can I have someone to guide me what I'm going to do there when cross multiplying? Yes, guys, can now you be participative? Hello?
Sir?
Yes, what do we do there to cross multiply?
We make it a fraction, sir. You
It's
make
yes.
the x a fraction.
Okay, x over 1, yes. Then what do we do?
Then we multiply x with the denominator
So that,
and 1 with the numerator.
so we can start with a 1 there. 1 times w, we are going to get w plus 1 times 3, we are going to get 3. Equal to x times 2, we are going to get 2x minus x times w, you're going to get wx. That's what we have. Then the second step is to collect the like terms, taking into consideration the rate of interest. So we just need to get this side. This guy goes there, and this guy goes this side. And when that happens, we're going to get w plus wx equal to 2x. Now the 3 becomes minus. There we factorize. Remember, when the letter is alone, it means the coefficient is 1, meaning the number that is before that letter is a 1. So if we take out a w outside, what remains there is a 1, plus we take out a w there, what remains is an x, which must be equated to 2x minus 3. After that has happened, the fourth and the last step is that we divide anything the letter is attached to, which is 1 plus x, even here 1 plus x. And when these guys cancel, the answer will be w is equal to 2x minus 3 over 1 plus x. I don't know if you guys are getting it.
Sir,
Yes.
I've understood. I'm understanding now.
Okay. So you guys are going to do this question. I'm sending you this document. You guys are going to solve this question. You guys are going to solve this question. Very soon you solve, you send me the answers, then we start another session. First.
Okay.